Guess what? The phenomenal actor you've come to know as Captain America once rejected the role. Thankfully, it took a knock on the head from his mother and co-star Robert Downey Jr. before Chris Evans accepted the role. Sadly, his days are over. However, his replacement, Anthony Mackie, has revealed something intriguing about Evans that has got our attention. Mackie thinks Evans is more Captain America than we think. First things first, Anthony Mackie is set to replace Chris Evans as Captain America. The soon-to-be-released series of Captain America is set to kick off with a fresh start. Anthony Mackie, who plays Sam Wilson, or the Falcon in Captain America, will be taking the shield off Chris Evans' hands. The decision came directly from the executive desks of the MCU. After unending hours of consideration, one interesting and in some cases controversial issue with the MCU's decision was the racial conversations that trailed the announcement. Just like the Black Panther, the handover was seen as a plus in the Black community and Africa at large. But in essence, Marvel has shown that they are beyond the conversations and limitations of race and gender. Interestingly, MCU fans were way ahead of MCU insiders in their speculation. The decision wasn't much of a surprise to fans, considering the happenings and discussions that had ensued in previous episodes, which posed hints of Sam Wilson, Anthony Mackie's character, taking over as Captain America. Even so, some fans argue that Mackie was destined to take on this role. It's been disclosed that Captain America 4 was in active development, and Anthony Mackie was only a step away from inheriting the iconic shield. But in a shadow somewhere, Marvel has to figure out a worthy replacement for Sam Wilson's character, Falcon, as well. Well, besides the excitement of seeing something new on the show, it will partly be weird to see a different person wield the iconic shield and own the character which Chris Evans is known for. We could even insist Captain has become so much of Evans that it might take a while to recognize Mackie's contribution to the character. Now, a shocking fact is that Chris Evans doesn't appear to be bothered about the replacement. On the contrary, he had planned to retire from the role at the exact time his character, Steve Rogers, also chose to retire in the movie. As we saw, in the Avengers Endgame, Rogers had opted to go back in time to reunite with the woman he had fallen head over heels for, Peggy Carter, played by Hayley Atwell. In an interview with Anthony Mackie, he hinted that not only did Chris Evans retire from the role at the same time as Steve Rogers, but he permanently left the scene, like Steve Rogers. In Mackie's words, Chris is so far gone from Marvel, like Marvel is not even in his radius. He's so far gone. He's enjoying life. He's like an old retired dude. Also, Anthony Mackie doesn't have to prove himself before fans can become comfortable with him as Captain. He's done pretty well as the Falcon, even when he appeared alongside Evans in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. There are high hopes for him, and he can't afford to disappoint MCU fans, especially the tweeter-happy ones. However, there's a strange rumor going around like wildfire about Evans' return. While it is true that Chris Evans said goodbye to the role at the wrap of Avengers Endgame in 2018, there has been a lot of speculation from die-hard fans about a return, which Evans has strongly rebuffed on social media. At the top of it all was the claim that Chris Evans would appear in another MCU title. Evans stepped in to clear the air when he tweeted, "Wilson is Captain America." Fans could deduce the finality in his tweet. Speaking to Yahoo earlier this year, Evans spoke in favor of Mackie by saying, "No one better to do it. I mean, he honestly does it justice. I'm so proud of him. I can't wait to see what they do in the future with it. But if there's any tears shed, it's just for the sweet memories I had." Well, here's something that Evans won't deny. Although he might have left the franchise, he hasn't left the people. Talking of the screen now, Evans has retained his friendship with Captain America co-stars Anthony Mackie and Sebastian Stan in particular. The three had been closely knitted during filming, and Anthony Mackie admitted that they still hang out with each other at social gatherings and birthdays. Ever since they formed the team that defeated Hydra, the trio had developed the on-screen bond into an off-screen brotherhood. Captain America 4 is set for a theatrical release, and expectations have literally shot up the roof. In March 2022, Sebastian Stan, while talking about Captain America 4, revealed harmless spoilers, and even went further in comparing it with 1976's Rocky. He also talked about being excited about the movie, stating that Anthony Mackie was going to do excellently. Without revealing too much, it's easy to understand what Stan sees with his comparison of Captain America 4 to Rocky. The most obvious connection is that Jim Wilson is, like Sylvester Stallone's Rocky Balboa, an underdog. You might be considering the relevance of Sebastian Stan's comments until you realize the man is appearing in the fourth installment of the Avengers series. What is Captain America without Bucky Barnes? It has been brought to public notice that Sebastian Stan will also be reprising his role as barns when Captain America 4 hits the screen. Considering the fact that his story aligns well with Chris Evans' Captain America timeline and then picked right up in the quasi-buddy show in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, it would be strange and quite unfortunate if Stan wasn't involved in some way. Wyatt Russell is another actor that would return to Captain America to continue his role as John Walker, aka U.S. Agent. But since we can't have a U.S. agent without his handler, Val, so we should expect Louis Dreyfus to return too. One could also conclude that Emily Van Camp would be reprising her role as Sharon Carter, the criminal mastermind. While the list is already looking glossy, there's another popular face that will appear in the movie as well. The Hollywood Reporter had revealed in October that Captain America 4 will feature Harrison Ford as General Thaddeus Ross, formerly played by William Hurt, who passed away in March this year. Talking further about the topic, there are several happenings to watch out for in Captain America 4, and it's not just on camera, but also behind the scenes. Besides the confirmation that Anthony Mackie is getting into the suit and owning the shield, Captain America 4 will have another familiar face as part of the production. Although he's going to be behind the camera, Malcolm Spellman is the man we're talking about, and he was the showrunner for The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. In a recent interview, Malcolm Spellman was asked if Captain America 4 was a priority for him, or if a possible second season of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier would come first. He was also asked a series of other questions like whether Val was putting the Thunderbolts team together, and more importantly, will two shields be featured, one held by Sam Wilson and the other by U.S. Agent? And Malcolm's reply was, "I only know what Marvel President Kevin says." Whatever the case may be, one thing that we're certain of is that Captain America 4 is in good hands. Lest we forget, the new installment will be directed by Julius Ona. Talking about Malcolm Spellman, the new Captain America series he had been tasked with creating has an official title already. Throughout history, Comic-Con has always been full of surprises, but Marvel's the one with surprises this year. The title of Captain America 4 was announced quite early. It was named New World Order and was set up as a continuation of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Also, the new installment will be a paranoid thriller. Interestingly, New World Order was the name of the first episode from that series, which we can now identify as an Easter egg. In the third series, Sam Wilson was pondering over taking Captain America's shield since Steve Rogers was no longer with the Avengers. The date for the fourth installment was set for May 3rd, 2024, but we advise you don't get your hopes up on that information. At the moment, Marvel's Phase 4 is scheduled to run through 2023 and possibly longer if the announced Blade and Fantastic Four movies are to be included. As it stands, other series like Ant-Man and the Wasp and Guardians of the Galaxy are both set to hit theaters in 2023 and would end MCU's Phase 4. However, since it is Marvel, and talking from experience, it could all change. Meanwhile, Chris Evans retired from Marvel on a good note and has long moved on with his life. Since he departed from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Evans has been busy playing the voice of Buzz Lightyear in the story, as well as playing the spoiled Ransom Drysdale in the hit Rian Johnson mystery Knives Out. He's also signed to work with Dwayne Johnson on the holiday film Red Star, due in 2023. He's happy with the decision and still doing wonders in Hollywood. Fans of Captain America have plenty to look forward to, even without the return of Steve Rogers. Chris Evans is done with the role, but Captain America lives on. Until then, keep up with this space to be sure of Captain America 4's release date. While you wait,
let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. Goodbye for now and see you in the next one.